Kingdom leaving.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation.
For the Nigerian government to stop killing its people and
But I remain committed to the United Kingdom leaving.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation.
for the Nigerian government.
Always, all over the world, there must be drama in politics. Trial of impeachment by the members of the House of Assembly. Well, that's another issue to be discussed with. That's my way of welcoming you to Open Conversation this morning. It's a flagship political program through which trending political news stories are discussed and deliberated on and dissected with great analysts with insights. Breaking to us this morning, it's Senator Magnus Abe announces defection. Official right now that he's moved to the SDP. He said he was going to be on the ballot, really participating, and now we know where he's going to. Obviously, he'll be moving with some great number of APC supporters who have been defecting before. There's some things about this and keep you up to speed with the issues happening in Rivers State, especially in the politics of Rivers State, and also nationally today. And it's official, he's gone to the SDP party. Since we're having several reactions today, we had a lawyer who spoke, and we're going to really fill that in our discussion today. Next on really choking, some people say, especially in the north also. And it's spreading around Nigeria, and they're not really taking it or finding it easy today in Nigeria. But we'll see how things will unfold as we keep you up to speed too with matters going on at the National Assembly. Remember that they are on holiday and they're going to resume in September 20th. And there was a lawyer who is also a spokesman of various international courts. Right now, every time there's pre-election matters and there's post-election matters in the court. Some have said, why should it be the case in Nigeria? There's always the pre-election issues in the court and the post-election issues. That's another issue to be discussed. Now, AA6 Tinubu Shetima's disqualification alleges double nomination. One issue, really too many in the court today. Well, they said this is the season for court matters, and let's see how this will unfold as we really dissect the matter. We'll take a break. When we'll come back, we'll introduce our guests and go into the discussions properly and go into the matters as we have it today. This is Open Conversation. Stay with us. The people, the candidates, the party, the campaigns. What enough of the rhetorics? It's time for issue-based politics 2023 Relax and join us for the 2023 elections on Atlantic Television Network, StarTimes, DTH, Channel 194 or ATN Live on Google Play Store and all our social media platforms. Twitter is at Atlantic TV Net. Facebook and YouTube is at Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram is at Atlantic TV Network. Elections 2023 from Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. Election 2023. We the people have a stake.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation.
For the Nigerian government to stop killing its people and let
And it's good to be back to discuss politics in Nigeria today, and that's where we're heading towards, right? Beam upon there, especially in the legal matters. Now, we discussed the matter yesterday by Inebehi F. Youngs, where a judge sentenced him to 1 month in prison. We head on to it. Now, it says Barrister Samuel Ukpo has reacted to the Inebehi F. Youngs 1 month in prison, calling on other legal practitioners to show respect to court proceedings and its sanctity. Let's take a listen to this.
Today was for continuation of hearing in the libel suit filed by the governor of the state and Senator Effiong Bob against one Barrister Leo Egbenyong. So we had fielded cross-examination, so concluded, and we will have closed our case today. But the counsel, the lawyer, Inebehi Effiong, to the defendant, as usual in his characteristic manner, was very hostile with the chief judge, insulted the chief judge, abused the chief judge, poured scurrilous vents upon the chief judge. He has been doing it before. Even myself as a lawyer, I cannot tolerate that. But the chief judge, well, in her usual magnanimity, had been overlooking. But today, when that amounts to contempt in the face of the courts, is visited with immediate arrest, and you are sent to prison until you purge yourself. Law is a disciplined profession. It's not for riffraffs. There's a language of the court. Even when the court gives judgment against you, you cannot stand there and tell the judge, have you seen that nonsense judgment? I will deal with you. I will appeal. Kayode Shaw, JSC, former Justice of Supreme Court, said it amounts to contempt for a lawyer to tell a judge, for giving that judgment against me, I will appeal. That it is contempt of court. What about the one that you are directly insulting a judge? That let it not be because of one client, you come and quarrel with all the
law has still contravened now.
Contempt of the court is insulting. He's saying before. I cannot stand here to recount.
The judge is biased.
He had been saying.
All right, you heard it there. So it will be recalled that Akwa Ibom State Chief Judge Justice Ekaite Obot on Wednesday sent Lagos-based human rights activist Inebehi Effiong to prison for 1 month for allegedly being rude while in court. Barrister Effiong was appearing as counsel for Leo Ekpeyong, who is being dragged to the court by Governor Udom Emmanuel over alleged defamation. But there is another video also, which a lawyer has actually said some things concerning this, and he mentioned some matters which we'll really want to listen to at this point in time. Let's take a listen to Barrister Chitam now.
Basically, we're looking at a fair hearing, which everybody is entitled to. Of course, if an allegation is levied against anybody, the first thing, especially when the matter is in court, the first thing is we have to hear the person out. Why you're convicting the person, even for contempt, why you're convicting the person. Nobody can. Our laws are clear about these things. Nobody can be convicted on mere allegations without actually hearing from the person, hearing the other side. That's why we have a legal principle to that part, which is called Audrey Autem Patem. Hear the other side. You must at every point in time. No matter how grievous, even if you caught the person in the act,
you must have to hear it.
Give the person an opportunity to defend himself, why he did what he did, and all that. But in this case, that is not the situation. Now, what we have seen, just like Doc was saying earlier on, the truth of the matter is this: we do not have a judiciary. I'm sorry to say this. I have been a strong advocate against what we have in Nigerian judiciary. It's a mess. This current judiciary as constituted is a mess. Take it from me. I've always said it, and I will say it anyway. I find myself that I don't even care if anybody comes to maybe send my name to the disciplinary committee. But
all right, welcome back. Now, we've been seeing some matters really go on right now, which is really happening in the Akwa Ibom State, and that's the matter to be discussed, but it's not really our major talking point this morning. And moving on now to other matters this morning, it's the issue of impeachment. PDP Reps Caucus joins Senate counterpart over 6 weeks ultimatum to Buhari. Now, the PDP caucus in the House of Representatives has joined in the suit. And the matter is really filing up by some members of the Senate concerning these issues. It's really impeachment processes that they really want to take at this point in time. And it's one that is really causing a lot of issues at the Senate. Now, the PDP caucus in the House of Representatives has joined its Senate counterpart in issuing a 6-week ultimatum to President Muhammadu Buhari to address insecurity or risk impeachment. The minority leader, Ndudi Elumelu, gave the notice on Thursday after a meeting of the National Assembly PDP caucus at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. The meeting was chaired by the Senate Minority Leader, Philip Aduda, PDP FCT, with more than 20 lawmakers in attendance. The lawmakers held a closed-door meeting, after which Mr. Elumelu briefed journalists on the resolution reached. He stated that members of the House will also present a formal impeachment notice against the president if the general insecurity in the country is not addressed. It was reported that on Wednesday, PDP senators staged a walkout during a plenary session over insecurity in the country. I want to join, he says, I want to join my colleagues that upon expiration, we will prefer ways of ensuring we will gather all the signatures. Let me make it clear for those who are thinking it is an issue of only PDP or minority caucus. No, many of our colleagues under the bipartisanship, all of them are affected. All of them are affected, many of them. So they may not be speaking, but we will be speaking for them. It says again, and I quote, we are asking Mr. President to address the insecurity in this country within 6 to 8 weeks. Well, unless we will find the constitutional means to ensure that we will serve him impeachment notice, he said. Position of the Constitution on impeachment of President, Vice President. The lawmakers walked out of the chamber after the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, disallowed a motion on insecurity and impeachment of Mr. Buhari. Section 143 of the 1999 Constitution provides the process for removal of the president or vice president. To commence the process, the notice must be signed by 1/3 of the members of the National Assembly. Section 143, subsection 2 of the Constitution provides that whenever a notice of any allegation is written signed by not less than 1/3 of the members of the National Assembly, Mr. Aduda said the Senate caucus had to brief their counterparts in the House because the walkout was spontaneous. Disclosed that all senators across all parties agreed on impeachment notice, noting that all senators agreed that the security architecture is failing. Our action, he said, yesterday was spontaneous from the issues raised from the floor of the Senate. This issue is not just about PDP members. This is a partisan issue. We all agreed that security architecture in the country is failing and there is a need to salvage it immediately. We also agreed that the issue is to issue an impeachment notice to the president, he said. The lawmakers are currently on holiday till September 20th. Now, joining me to do justice to these trending and serious issues affecting our nation's landscape is a legal practitioner, right, and public affairs analyst. Also, he's had long-time knowledge in the study and the practice of law, no other than Dr. C.A.J. Chinwo. Good morning to you, Dr. C.A.J. Chinwo. Good to have you join me. All right, so there is a matter on ground, and obviously it affects the landscape of Nigeria. The lawmakers are actually not really happy about the things happening. But first, I'd like to ask you, what is the legal implication of all these things going on the floor of the red and the green chambers?
Well, the legal implication is that, for once, we have to call it the reality implication even. Because for once, we are having the law being tested, because that's what the law is supposed to be. Use it as a means of proving the legality of actions or inactions of those who are affected. And the law has been there. The Constitution has been there for them to put it into test. When a president does what should make the people unhappy, what the people consider a misconduct, and what is a breach of the Constitution, the power to discipline him is on the National Assembly legislature. Because while he's a president, he can't initiate criminal or legal proceeding against him in court. He can't. So what you can do is those who have vested our political mandate on, they should be angry on our behalf. They should take action on our behalf. They should express our anger on our behalf. And that's what they should have done. Maybe the question many people will be asking, which I do ask, is why now? Why did you allow this thing to fester to so much? You know, Femi Adesina, president's media advisor, say it's because he's coming home. So it's just what the attitude of the president is that all the other places in Katsina, in Zamfara, in Borno, in River State, it didn't bother them. And it's bothering them because it's coming to Abuja. As shameful as it is for the special advisor to say that, it's still also a question to ask the National Assembly. Is it because it's now coming close to Abuja? Is it why? Otherwise, they should have done this thing long ago. This president has failed to be interested in securing Nigeria. Not that he's failed to secure, he has failed to be interested in securing Nigeria. And
what are the facts to prove that he has failed to?
One clear one, there are young soldiers who are just being killed in Abuja by terrorists who threaten they will attack law school and other places. That same day, the president is entering plane to go to another nation. It's never done. Other nations, you will see that other nations, the presidents, even United States president, will cancel his trip. When his name is abroad, he will cancel his trip and return home. Because attacking the national capital, what else do you want? But that same day, our president felt comfortable enough to travel. So it's showing that he's not interested, and it's not the first time. I mean, there was a time again when there was an attack in Plateau State, and the president was celebrating wedding in Kano. So he's not interested. And, the speech, his condolence speech or the consolation is always ready. Either Femi Adesina is bringing it out, or Shehu Garba. You know, I assure you are going to be on top of the situation. The government, all those will face the law. It ends there.
So now, Femi Adesina gave a speech
Yes.
when we had this impeachment process that was staged and the walkout by some senators.
Yes.
He said those were anarchists.
Yeah.
And it's really bordered on so many people before the Green Chambers has joined.
No, you know, unfortunately for Nigeria, someone like Femi Adesina has been a terrible disappointment. You know, those who were reading, I was reading Femi Adesina when he was in Sun newspaper, and I thought highly of him. But what unfortunately, many of them, when they become these media advisors to executive, they lose their heads. It doesn't. Yes, he can't be attacking the president. He is the one to protect the president's press image. But there are ways he should handle it. For him to have the audacity to speak against the elected representatives the way he did, senators first, now representatives, and that was saying against senators. It's an embarrassment for the office of the president for a person in government to speak like that of the senators. But we have gotten onto that stage where those who work with governors and work with presidents act as if the rules of gentility and proper conduct, etiquette doesn't concern them. They feel they're above the law. They feel they're above everybody.
But you know, he that pays the piper detests the tune.
Exactly, but so, the reason why you are hired, why CAJ Chinwo is not hired to be special advisor on media, is because it is thought that you know a little bit better than the other man on the streets. You should be able to know. You know, we saw the diplomat. The diplomat tells you to go to hell. He asks, when am I going? Because he puts in a way that looks so attractive. A press secretary to the president has a duty to do that. Even if your president is wrong, you package him in a way that people would think that maybe they had it wrong, they are the right thing. But where this one where even the president is taciturn, and you come out and say things that the president wouldn't say. I've never had the president, even the 8th Assembly, I've never had the president speak so disdainfully of the National Assembly. He would rather hold his peace. And if you know how to manage information, communication, you manage in such a way that even the Senate will be ready. Maybe we shouldn't have acted so fast or so far. But these guys provoked them. What he did after speaking House of Representatives, okay, we join. Before you think it's only our brothers in the Senate, we're also angry. And if Nigerians had their way in Abuja, they would join. If the police could manage, they would have joined. If the army, look at the young lieutenants and captains being killed, they would have joined. But, several factors, either discipline of the organization and all that, they can't join.
So what do you think has gone wrong with the security apparatus in Nigeria or the executive in Nigeria?
I've been saying this for a long time, and I keep praying I'm wrong. If what is not happening is not the wish of the president, then I would say failure of government. But if it's the wish of the president, then he's achieving his purpose. There's no way to put it. These people started from Boronu, they crossed to Zamfara, they moved into Kebbi, they moved down, Mamina, Niger, Kaduna, now in Abuja. It's never had anywhere that there's a government, and they haven't even had any reaction that anybody, since we have been hearing Kaduna, Abuja highway is unsafe. Have you ever heard that there was a mop-up operation by the military? No. We never had now. Of course, they like propaganda. They would have come to tell us, see, our able men have done nothing. We know the forest. See, the average geographer in this country will tell you that it doesn't take too much of a not even in science, not to talk rocket science, to tell you that this is what is everywhere in this country. I entered an Air France flight coming down to Nigeria, and as we were passing, everywhere, I was shocked for Nigeria that day. On the plane, the screen before me, anywhere it's passing, you're seeing this is where you're passing, this is the forest, and you pass there. In Nigeria, and I knew where this nation is not exposed, but that's what it is. So how come, for instance, you have Nigerians held from kidnapped from train, and they are kept somewhere and there's no move? The military is telling you that we are no. It's either the government wants what is happening, in which case it can't fight itself, or the government has failed. It's for them to choose.
So my question is, why is this process taking place now? Is the twilight to the end of the president's tenure?
They have been, we have been prisoners. Nigerians are prisoners of hope. National Assembly also have been hopeful. We hope the president will get it better. We hope the president won't allow it to get to this point. We hope it will get better. There have been that imprisonment of hope, as good as it can be. It can serve good because it helps people to be patient over a little while. Otherwise, they say I'm impatient. But the danger of imprisonment of hope is that before you wake up, you may be facing total destruction. So that hope has been keeping National Assembly. We hope Nigeria will do this. Before they will blame Okechinda. Oh, that's why we don't want it to be Senate because he's too harsh on president. They'll blame some people in the Senate that are Abaribe. But now they have seen that APC members are tired. Whoever party they are tired. Northerners are tired. It is no more. What's his name? The guy from Boronu State, Senator. The man has spoken and spoken. He's chairman of Senate Committee on the Army. I forgot his name now. The senator from Boronu State. He has spoken and spoken and spoken and gotten tired. Because this is where it started, Boronu State. Others So, but you see, they have been hopeful, but we are going to the point where it is now terribly suicidal to hope. I mean, I saw a video where over 30 motorcycle riders, fully armed, were riding into Abuja yesterday. Somebody saw the video going trending. You understand? And it was in the daylight. So what happened in the night? Where is our army? Where is our police force? Where is our so-called internal security? This one. See, where are they? Are they looking at small flies and unarmed people, students and workers who protest, and they're forgetting their work? And it has broken down. So that's why at least they are coming, as House of Reps said, they want to at least show Nigerians that we feel what you feel. So we are not even feeling for them, because I wish that my representative is in Port Harcourt in Abuja. I wish my senator is back in Port Harcourt in Abuja. Everybody is now, nobody, before we would say, I wish I'm in Abuja. Now it's so bad in Nigeria, people are wishing that their people were at home. That's why the Minister of Education said, all the children go home. Abuja is no more safe. The nation is gone. So that is why they are doing it now. The question is, they don't have to actually succeed. Please show that they're not happy.
So what will this hew to if they've done this and the 6 weeks